Hello everyone and welcome to NETCRYPTO, where you get important information and news about all coins and tokens of interest. And today we're taking a look at Wall Street Pepe, right? So this is a very special video. You'd want to watch it all the way to the end because you're going to be learning a lot. Normally this is a video that I would have done for the members only, right? But one member in our community did ask to cover this content and to do some tracing, right, to see which ones are the biggest investors into Wall Street Pepe. And I can definitely assure you that you're going to be seeing some jaw-dropping figures in here, right? And you're also going to be getting some real insights. And before we get to that, I just want to thank all the channel members, right? You guys are the ones who help us to do the work that we do at NETCRYPTO. So thank you for your continued support. So let us jump straight into the content. So the current price is sitting at 3011. We did see some sort of like reversal that was happening, but of course it's not holding, right? The reversal is not holding, right? So let's jump straight to the data. And one of the things that a lot of people have been saying was there wasn't 70 million that entered into Wall Street Pepe during the pre-sale. I can definitely assure you that on the blockchain, we can see 70 million entering into Wall Street Pepe, but that does not mean that when this money is cashed out into Binance, the scammers just simply recycle that money back into this pre-sale address of 60F7, right, over and over again to reach these figures of 70 million, right? That is possible, but to actually prove that would require a lot of tracing, backwards tracing, right? And that takes a lot of time. So let's jump into the top investors for Wall Street Pepe, the top whales, right? So a whale, according to DEX Tools, is defined as an investor who has invested at least 10,000 and above, right? Above $10,000. So between 3 and 10,000 is a dolphin. A whale is anyone who invested above 10,000, right? So let's jump in. So these are all the transactions, right? I did a fresh take of the data, right, to see what's the latest data all the way up until the day of listing, right, of launch, of the pre-sale ending. And the top investor, right, into Wall Street Pepe invested a staggering amount. So the top investor is this wallet right here, 003A. So 003A did multiple transactions. As you can see, the first transaction was 114 ETH, and then another 114 ETH, and then he also went with another 93 ETH, right, as well as 41 ETH. So in total, he or she invested 455 ETH, right, at an average price of 3,300 Ethereum, according to the date of investment, which is equivalent to 1.5 million US dollars, right? So the top investor, the top whale who invested into the pre-sale, right, invested 1.5 million, right? So this is coming from just the top 50 transactions, right? There could be another one who's bigger than this who invested in smaller chunks, right? But as for the top 50 transactions with the money that entered into Wall Street Pepe, we can say that 003A is the top investor. And what is the state currently with the 003A? Let's take the wallet address and go and check on Etherscan, right? So let's close that. We're going to copy that, go to Etherscan, and see what's the current status. Just allowing it to load. Right, just doing the verifications on there. And then there we are, right? So as you can see, unfortunately for this investor, each and every time that they invested, so you can see this 114 ETH, there should be another 114 ETH below here, right? So unfortunately for this investor, each and every time that he invested, they did the claim and stake, right? So they are stuck in staking. As you can see, the claimants, they've staked everything, right? So currently they are stuck in staking, and staking is only going to be opening up on the 24th, right, of February. So this is the reason why I say don't stake. Like immediately when this thing launched, right? I did go and show you, right, a video. Let me see, Wepe, right? I did go and do a video to show, to say don't stake, right? Don't stake. Let's see if we can see it on here, right? It was over a month ago. I did go and say don't stake, because if you stake, right, you're going to be locked up into staking when the launch actually happens, right? So the video is somewhere here. The initial video that I did for Wall Street Pepe, I did actually highlight and advised not to stake, right? That's the first thing that I always do whenever these scammers actually do launch a specific token, right? I did highlight that don't stake your tokens, because there it is, right? It was 2 months ago, right? 2 months ago, I highlighted don't stake, because look at the situation with this investor, right? Let's just go and check the transactions, if there are any transactions that they have actually done since launch, right? So let's check here. So we are going to go onto the makers and add the wallet address on there, right? And then there are no transactions, right, from this one. This is Wall Street Pepe. There are no transactions on here, right, that we can see. So let's just go and check the other investors, right? So no transactions for this specific one. So now let's take a look at number two, right? So number two is got the wallet ending 9107, right? They invested about 127 ETH, right? This one is actually a member in the NETCRYPTO community. And the average investment was around 3,000 ETH based on the different days, right? So you might wonder, if you look at this data and say it doesn't add up to 127 ETH, actually I did extract all the transactions, including the smaller ones, right, and did the tally, right, for the specific member to come up with the total of 127 ETH. So the amount invested is about 381,000, right? So fortunately for this investor, he was smart and he did not stake, right? So he is not staked, right? And then let's move on. So the third top investor, right, into Wall Street Pepe invested about 90 ETH, right, at an average price of 3,800, because they invested sometime in December, right, when ETH price was still high. And let's just go and take a look at what is happening with this one, right? So they invested 342,000, right, into Wall Street Pepe. Let's check out if, right, if they are able to, if they have done any transactions, right, with their Wall Street Pepe. Let's check on here. So there are no transactions, right? Let's just go and check on Etherscan. Try and ascertain why that is, right? So we can see here there was a claim. So they did claim, right, on here. They did claim. So they are not staked, but they did claim. So they do have all the tokens. So if we check ERC20 tokens, here would be able to see all the tokens that they do have, right? Yeah, so this one is actually quite interesting. So you can see that they did claim, they've got the tokens, so probably they are just waiting. There we go. This is 1 billion, right? Yeah, that's 1 billion. 1 billion worth 3 days ago. They did claim, they've got their tokens. They were smart. They did not actually, they did not stake, right? So they are holding. They haven't sold yet, right? So let's go on and check. The next one is E69E, right? Invested about 65 ETH at an average price of 3,400, right? And the total amount is 221,000 invested on here, right? And let's just check if there are any transactions for this one, right? So let's check the makers. Just have to close this one and we check the makers. If there are any transactions, let's see. Okay, so there are no transactions on here, right? There are no transactions that has been done for this one. So let's check also on Etherscan the situation with this one. So let's check if there are any transactions for this one, right? There are no transactions on here, right? There are no transactions that has been done for this one. So let's check also on Etherscan the situation with this one. So let's check if there are any transactions for this one, right? There are no transactions that has been done for this one. So let's check right? So we do see that they did claim, they had some issues claiming here, but they did claim right here. And let's check on the ERC20 tokens. So we can see they did claim they have about 610 million tokens, right? 610 million tokens. So they haven't sold as yet. And they bought, let's go and check. Like we said here, they bought 221,000, right? So obviously now it will be way down. And then lastly is the investor F589, 51 ETH total invested at an average price of 3,900 per ETH, because they invested much earlier on at a total cost of 198,400. So we can just say average, we can just round it up to 200,000. So let's check if they actually did go and did do any transactions, right? So we're going to close that one and we're going to check if there are any transactions that have been done from this one, right? So we don't see any transactions on this one either, right? So this is really quite interesting if you check all these transactions, right? That most of the people who, the top people who have actually bought into Wall Street Pepe have not performed any transactions, right? It's really interesting. So let's just go and check these transactions and see the other transactions that we can see on here, right? So we've got this one for 57 ETH, and we've got this one for this one is 41 ETH, right? And this will be 4E 5E, right? 4E 5E. And let's check, right, if there are any transactions that have been done from this wallet. Right, so there are no transactions that we can see on here as well. So it does seem like majority of the people who have actually bought, right, they have not performed any transactions unless there is an issue here with DEX tools, right? So we're just going to check again one of these transactions. Let's check this one, because I believe I did see some transactions. Maybe DEX 2 might be a little bit buggy, right? So let's check. Yeah, so there are no transactions. So as you can see, majority of the people who actually did buy are not selling, right? Who bought at the top, they are not selling. They are holding on to what they've bought. But unfortunately, the price, this was one of the worst rug pulls that I've ever seen, right? These scammers do. They literally didn't even launch, right? They didn't launch. The max price is 3019. They didn't even launch at the same price of the last price of the pre-sale, which is crazy, right? They've already moved on to this scam right here, Mind of Pepe, right? And another scam they recently launched as well is BTC Bull as well. So as you can see, right, the scammers know this very well. This time they did not opt to actually block investors from claiming. They allowed a lot of people, almost everyone, to be able to claim, but then they dumped the price, right? Because they knew that if they were going to go with their method of blocking, there was going to be a massive outcry. It was going to be clear for us to check on the blockchain. So this time they changed their tactic. They just dumped the price. So if you do decide to sell, you're going to sell at a massive loss, which is so unfortunate, right? But at least these scammers are dogs to the channel, right? For those of you who are channel members, you do know who they are, right? And also, if you are a channel member today, a new video is dropping on the 2x challenge. Today it will be episode 4, right? This is when we actually are going to be investing into our 2x coin that we are hoping to gain that 2x, right? So just ensure you check that video is going to be dropping today for the channel members, right? So this is what I wanted to share with you, right? Just remember that we all have got different circumstances. So there's no need to abuse anyone or to have unsavory language towards someone who invested a large amount. That's why in the world, someone would drive a Toyota, someone would drive a BMW, someone would drive a Ferrari, right? So everyone invests according to their own circumstances, right? So there is no reason for someone who's driving a Ferrari to laugh at someone who's driving a Toyota. No. Can someone who drives a BMW laugh at someone who drives a Ferrari? We invest according to our circumstances and our risk appetite, right? So someone can invest $50, someone will invest 1,000, someone will invest 1,000,000, right? Someone 10 million, 1 billion, right? That's just the way that it goes. So it is important for us to be respectful in the comment section, right? We are all learning together, wising up against scammers. So I hope this was informative for you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.